Here's a question that should terrify you a little. What if the calm you've been performing isn't actually calm at all? What if it's just pressure with nowhere to go, and one day it finds somewhere anyway? Before you congratulate yourself on another day of not reacting, I want you to actually check whether you're regulated or just quietly building towards something. You've gotten good at this. Someone provokes you, and you don't flinch. No reaction, no explanation, total composure. It looks like strength from the outside, and it might even feel like strength in the moment. But there's a version of this that isn't discipline at all. It's suppression, wearing discipline's clothes, and the two feel identical right up until the moment they don't. Here's the real question this video answers. Does staying silent actually resolve what's happening inside you? Or does it just delay it until your body decides to deal with it for you? Because there's a documented difference between choosing not to react and being unable to process what happened at all. And confusing the two is where this entire strategy quietly turns dangerous. Let's be precise about what real composure looks like. When silence is working the way it's supposed to, the moment passes and you're actually fine. Not performing fine, not gritting your teeth through fine, but genuinely settled. Because you processed what happened and decided it didn't deserve your energy. That's regulation. It has an ending. Suppression doesn't have an ending. It's the version where you don't react outwardly, but nothing gets resolved internally either. The frustration, the hurt, the anger just gets filed away, instead of felt over and over, until the body starts keeping score in ways the mind stopped tracking. Chronic tension, trouble sleeping, a short fuse that shows up somewhere completely unrelated to what actually caused it. That's not power holding steady. That's a debt collecting interest in a currency you can't see, accumulating until it's already overdue. Here's how to tell which one you're actually doing, because from the outside they're indistinguishable. Ask yourself an hour after the moment passes, did that actually resolve, or am I still carrying it just quietly? If you genuinely feel lighter, you processed it and let it go, that's real discipline. If you're still replaying it, still tense, still bracing for the next one, you didn't release anything. You just postponed the reaction and called the postponement strength. There's a deeper trap hiding inside this whole practice, and it's worth naming directly. Some people use total detachment as a way to avoid ever looking inward, using "I don't react" as a permanent excuse to skip the harder work of actually understanding why something bothered them in the first place. That's not composure. That's using the appearance of strength to dodge the one thing that would actually make you stronger. Honest self-reflection about what you're really protecting yourself from. Machiavelli's virtue was never about becoming numb. It was about acting deliberately instead of impulsively, which requires you to actually feel and process what's happening, not switch it off entirely. A prince who can't feel anything isn't disciplined. He's disconnected, and disconnection makes worse decisions, not better ones, because you've cut yourself off from the exact information your reactions were giving you. Political realism was always about reading a situation accurately, and you can't read anything accurately from inside a fog you've numbed yourself into. This costs something to get right, and it's not comfortable. Real processing sometimes means sitting with an emotion you'd rather bypass, or talking to someone about what actually happened instead of just going quiet and moving on. That takes more effort than performing detachment, but it's the only version of this strategy that doesn't eventually cost you your health, your sleep, or a reaction that finally comes out sideways at the wrong person, at the wrong time, for reasons that trace back to everything you never let yourself feel. So here's what changes for you. Stop measuring your discipline by whether you reacted outwardly. Start measuring it by whether the feeling actually resolved. If it did, you've mastered something real. If it's still sitting there, quietly, waiting, that's not the strength this series was teaching you. That's the cost of skipping the part nobody wants to do. And it's the one part of this entire framework that was never optional.